You could be working towards someone else's success and not your own. Felt like I did everything right. I am still trying to figure it out. Living check to check. How do you believe that that's actually gonna work for you? It's not. Then you will literally start to look at your life in a brand new way. Okay, hello. Welcome to another video. Yeah, let's just chat. I got the idea to do this video last night. Basically, I saw a video on my timeline talking about how we hate the lives that we live because of the ways that we think of success and how we measure success, right? In the video, they were talking about how millennials and Gen Z kind of view their life goals in a very traditional way, yet they want to live a non-conventional lifestyle. Society now is kind of leaning more towards unconventional, but being run by traditional standards and systems. I feel like you could be in any phase of life and still resonate with this somewhat, because in each part of history, we see that there's always an outlier. There's always someone who wants to change the norm or go against the grain. So a lot of the change that we see today has come from that exact idea. You do not have to move through life traditionally, and you can carve out the life that you want to live. The problem comes in where we are relying on a certain measurement of success instead of creating our own measurements for success, thus leading us to this whole spiral of unhappiness, depression, and anxiety in our current life. This is kind of my thought on this idea. I think the main point of this is to create your own definition. And you've heard this before. Create your own definition of love, of friendship, of happiness, and even success. Success is no different from other aspects of our life. We're taught that the traditional way of gaining success is to go to school, get a good job, build your family, and go from there. But now we're seeing that there's so many different avenues to reach success. There are people who drop out of school who are able to create huge multi-million-dollar companies, but also is having a lot of money a goal or a measurement of success for you? It may not. I think that it's important to really understand now, while a lot of us are still in the grind phase, still in the part of our lives where we're kind of setting that foundation to figure out what success really looks like, because you could be working towards someone else's success and not your own. In my last video, I kind of already touched on this a little bit, but I talked about how getting my dream job didn't necessarily solve all of my problems. And that was mainly because I was chasing an idea of success that wasn't my own. Actually, it was this idea that has been given to me through outside factors, whether it be school or my community or even my family. I think the ways in which our environment changes and shapes our idea of success is so layered. I honestly will probably make a whole other video about chasing tradition that is brought onto us by our families, because that is a completely different beast in itself. Right now, I more so just want to focus on what we have control of. And what we have the ability to do is actually figure out what we want success to look like. There are reasons why in certain countries or even just communities around us, success looks very different from our own ideas of success. There are people who feel as if their families are the most important aspects of their lives, so they create their idea of success around family, around community, being able to have large get-togethers or see their family often, or even just have a family of their own. If that is the way that you measure success, then you are successful. Just because there are people in the world that have billions of dollars and they have so much time on their hands doesn't necessarily make them successful. It's really about how you use it. Recently, I've been trying to figure out what life now looks like for me, because I'm not in the space that I was in before. I have more resources, and I honestly am trying to figure out how to use them responsibly. If I'm being completely honest, the first couple weeks I was terrible with the way that I chose to spend my money. It got to a point where I was basically still living check to check. And I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. I'm definitely making a lot more than I was before. I'm in a different space now, so what is going on? And I had to understand that it was me. The way that I was viewing the resources that I had was completely different from how I should have been viewing them. I also had to think about where I was before. In our lives, we do have to be cognizant of the fact that, okay, well, what I have now, I may not have a week from now. I may have more or less. So how can I use what I have right now to get me further than where I am right now? Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. What I'm trying to get to is that it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about how much I had, how much I'm making. It's about how I was using it. When I actually looked back at my bank statement, I was like, wow, okay, I'm actually allocating a lot of my funds towards things that aren't actually going to benefit me in the long run, or they're things that only bring me immediate gratification. I started to really think, what do I think will make me happy, which is a temporary feeling, and what do I feel will truly make me joyful or content? You have to be intentional. How you choose to measure your success will determine how you choose to move in it. There will be certain things that you choose to do because you know that those things will help you work towards your goal. There will also be things that you will have limitations on or boundaries for. Those won't necessarily be the things that will help you get to where you're going. Oftentimes we find our validation in other people and we compare our lives to others in order to find some measurement for success. But your makeup is unlike anybody else. Even breaking it down to science, none of us are completely the same, not even identical twins. So how in the world could you believe that going and watching other people or trying to find a definition of success from other people, how do you believe that that's actually going to work for you? It's not. I think that there are cues that we can take from other people. There's inspiration that we can find. There's mentorship that we can align ourselves with. But at the root of it all, you have to sit down and decide what that looks like for you. And there's so much autonomy in that. There's just so much freedom. It's almost like you have your own canvas. Like you can paint what your life looks like. Going back to the video that kind of just sparked this entire conversation, once you create a definition for success that is truly your own and isn't manipulated by any outside sources, then you will literally start to look at your life in a brand new way. This is just becoming more and more important as our society is becoming more consumed by media, by analytics, by data, followers, all of that stuff. Who are you when the cameras are off? Who are you off of social media? Who are you to the people that are literally around you every day? To end this video, I don't want you guys to think that just because I'm talking about it, I've mastered it. I have not at all. I am an example of somebody who has been affected by these narratives, these false narratives for what success should look like. And in one of my past videos, I even talked about how I felt like I did everything right. Like I didn't understand how I didn't have an offer upon graduating college. I didn't understand how certain things kind of just happened or didn't happen for me. But the more I'm talking to other people in these spaces that I'm in, the way that I'm living my life right now is success to somebody else. And for some people, it may look like I've just begun. So, but even still, the most important perspective is my own. So if I don't believe that I'm successful, if I don't feel as if I'm getting anywhere in my career or my life, then none of what anybody else says really matters. I'm still learning. I don't know it all. I am still trying to figure it out. But your entire life you'll be figuring something out. But I think this is definitely something that we have to take a handle on early, or as early as possible, because it literally shapes the way that we just like continue to function. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I feel like you guys always have something interesting to bring to the conversation, and always have like your own little perspectives, which I really enjoy and definitely want to hear. So let me know. And yeah, side note, quality, she's giving. I don't know, I like it. I don't know how else to end this video. So meet me in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.